Hey folks, how are you? You know, you may have noticed that we didn't have our regular stewardship campaign this year. Well, what we want to do is really kind of dive deeper into the meaning of generosity. What would it look like if we developed a lifestyle of living generously? So over the next few weeks, you're not going to hear anything about a budget or financial needs of the church, because developing a life of generosity has little to do with money. It has to do with the heart and the mind. The question is, it's not going to be, what does the church need to pay its bills? The question is going to be, what is God calling me to do to change my life, to live a life in extravagant generosity? So I'm going to challenge you to look for those places where in your discipleship journey, you need to develop a generous life. For some of you, money isn't it at all. You do that, you know that. But for some of us, that may be the issue. Am I generous with my compliments, my affirmation? Am I thinking the worst of somebody, or am I thinking the best of them because my life in Christ calls for me to think of them in generous and loving terms? And so I'm going to ask you to spend a little time every day reading and in prayer every single day. And we're providing you with a devotional book. And every day I want you to be praying this prayer. God, based on your goodness in my life, where do I need to be developing a life of generosity? Lord, is it in my financial giving? Lord, is it in my attitude? Is it in mercy? And each of us can grow into a next step, living a life more wholly generous from head to toe, from heart and hand, as we learn to live more like Jesus. And I think the greatest messages we're going to hear out of this emphasis of living generosity is going to be your stories, how you have seen God work in your life as you become more generous in all that you are. That's part of the way we can transform the world where we're living and making God's love real right where we are. And you see, it doesn't get any more real than when a wait staff down the street at a restaurant is having a bad day, or maybe they can't afford childcare, and your bill is $15. And just out of your love and goodness of God, you tip them a 20. You see, it changes people's lives. Or you, instead of getting that first parking space, you decide, you know what? I can walk it. I'll park at the very last one. And there's a million other ways that we can just have a generous spirit. That's what we're called to do as disciples. So I'll ask you to pray and think with me and really focus on, Lord, I want all of my life to be a life of generosity. I look forward to being with you. Thank you so much for taking your time. Let's just pray and be together as we learn to live a life like Christ, a life of generosity from our head to our toe. God bless you. We'll see you next time.